Madden 20 X Factors. Let's talk about that. Well, this is where I would put an intro video if I actually had one, but because I don't, all I get to do is ask you guys to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell because it helps me out a lot and you'll get to see all my content before everybody else. There'll be all my links to my social media down below, so make sure you guys follow that so you guys can keep up to date with all the content and all that good stuff. You know the deal on that. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Alright, so this is the Gridiron Notes that they released on X Factor abilities and Superstar abilities. Now we're just going to jump right into it. First thing is going to be talking about archetypes. Archetypes are how they are dividing up players across all positions. So within every position, a player will be divided into an archetype. Now within those archetypes, a player will get specific superstar abilities. This is very different than the X Factor abilities, which will only be divided by position. So when you go into a card, like a power-up card, and you want to put an X Factor on them, the X Factor ability you can put on them will be any that is available for that position. They're not going to be tied into a specific archetype. The archetypes are a way to divide the superstar abilities into not only very specific styles, but also tiers, which brings me to my next point, which are the tiers. Every archetype is going to have a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3 ability. When you go into the card, you're going to see 3 slots for a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. As you get higher overalls, you'll be able to unlock those different tiered abilities. And then when you reach even higher overalls, so 93, 96, and 99, you'll be able to put a tier 1 ability anywhere you want. You'll be able to then at 93 put a tier 2 in a tier 1, 96 put a tier 3 in a tier 2, and then 99 you can put tier 3 all the way into tier 1. So when you hit 99, you could put your abilities anywhere you want within those 3 slots on the card. That is the big component to reaching that threshold at the end of the year. So it has something that you're working towards all year in terms of what you can do and to max out your cards. When you go into a game or before you go into a game, make sure your X Factors are active within your lineup, because if they're not active in your lineup as your 3 X Factors on each side of the ball, they're not going to be active in game. So you get 6 X Factors total, 3 and 3. Same with salary cap, you get 3 and 3, so it doesn't change across the board, but you got to still make sure that they are active so that you can use them in the game themselves. One thing to note is that fullbacks, kickers, and offensive linemen do not have every abilities and don't really have X Factors in the game yet, but as they get higher overall cards, they will be coming. So the spreadsheet that I'm about to show you will be updated accordingly, and obviously they'll be available in game accordingly as well. So now for this ridiculous spreadsheet. Here's a spreadsheet of superstar ability descriptions and X Factor ability descriptions. Now this is nothing compared to the next 2 slides of this spreadsheet. This is the defensive ability breakdown. So you can see that every archetype and what abilities over here, what abilities you get at tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and at what rating that the player needs to have in order to activate that ability specifically. So certain things like Speed Rusher tier 2 finesse specialist, he needs to have 90 finesse move in order to get the tier 2. If he doesn't have 90 finesse move, he's not getting finesse specialist. So you have to know your ratings in order to get those abilities unlocked. So if you want a specific ability on a specific player, they gotta meet those requirements in order to do it. Same with offense. As you can see, all the red means that they can't use them. But again, like improvising Deadeye, dashing Deadeye on improviser, it's kind of confusing. It's a tier 2, but you need 90 throw on the run in order to activate it as a tier 2 for improviser. So you have to know your overalls, know your ratings, and go accordingly. Salary caps are going to be updated, but we knew that. Nothing can stay the same based off of everything else. Make sure you equip your abilities, and then here's a list of all the abilities and their caps, but the spreadsheet has all that information anyway. really what it comes down to is understanding that there are archetypes in the game for every position, and within those archetypes they get specific abilities. You get 3 ability slots per card, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and eventually as they get higher overalls, you can use the lower overall tiered slots for the higher overall abilities. X factors aren't tied to an archetype, they're only tied to a position. And really, other than that, it's really just a matter of learning the abilities and learning what you want on your players. Everyone's going to be learning them. This is brand new, so competitive or not, like, this is brand new for everybody, so it's a whole new game for everyone. But that really sums everything up. Hopefully it summed it up a lot quicker than that live stream did, and hopefully you guys take something away from this. But EA Access is on the way, so we're going to be jumping in head first with a bunch of 10-hour trials until the game unlocks fully. But make sure you guys follow the socials, and until next time, I'm out.